Right, what episode is this, Troy?
20.
Maybe we cap it here and we get a rest.
No, I've got to do 21. What was that start?
666. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Sherlocks Podcast. Big one today. It's episode 20. As if we've squeezed 20 of these out. You're joined by Alex, Trent, Brandon, and myself. We're going to be talking absolute nonsense. As every other episode.
What? I said, what time is it now? No, you fucking didn't. You said a wobble bob bob.
So stick around. You never know what we might talk about. We haven't planned it. We don't know. It could be good. Sometimes maybe good. What we been up to?
Well, I went to watch the best Robbie Williams tribute ever. He's the best. Yeah. Quality. I've just been talking about it before this, but unbelievable. I think
sure it wasn't just him, like in disguise.
Well, I was chatting to him for a fair bit. Like I said before, such a sound kid. Like couldn't be any sounder. And then he got on stage and absolutely got that beer garden rocking. I'll send you some videos.
Videos look mint.
No, I have to watch copyright on that. But
well, he is that good. It will flash up as copyright.
What's your favourite Robbie Williams tune?
Probably Let Me Entertain You.
I like it. I don't wanna rock DJ.
Yeah.
He's got loads, hasn't he? He's literally got loads.
I can't remember.
He knew everything about him, like. But apparently, Robbie, the real Robbie, joined Take That when he was like 16 or something, which is just nuts.
Yeah, he was a younger one, wasn't he?
16.
16.
That's crazy, that.
16.
But yeah, check him out. Rock DJ, Robbie Williams Experience. If he's in your area, go and watch him. You'll have a great night.
To be fair, he did look like he put on a good show.
Oh, he was good.
The real Robbie Williams, for some reason, is one of them people that people think it's cool to hate. Do you not think? Certain people, let us know in comments, but I feel like Robbie Williams is one of them people where people slag him off for some reason.
Yeah, I do.
It's probably jealousy.
I think it's one of them, innit? It's like, imagine you're stood at a gig and Robbie, the real Robbie, is just about to walk out for a show on. You know it's going off.
Yeah.
Like, you know it's going to be a good night, even if you're not even into tune, because he's just like, he's the definition of an entertainer, isn't he?
Yeah, men.
It's ladies' night.
Unreal. No, quality. He has got some good tunes.
What you all boys been up to?
Nothing, really.
Yeah, quite a weekend, to be honest. I'm going to go to the pub.
Right, I'm going to ask this question again. I want you both to lie and just come up with something interesting. What you all boys been up to? Oh, decent.
Flew to space yesterday. We'll never be able to do that again.
That is mental.
Oh my god.
Great.
Maybe it was real. Maybe it did actually happen.
Yeah, man on the moon.
That is bizarre.
That
Did
is
you say
bizarre.
space?
Yeah, both said it.
That's madness. Spending so much time together, you two.
Yeah, I know.
Well, want to be astronauts.
Oh, God. Right.
No, what fun.
Do you know what? It's Sunday, innit? We're filming on a Sunday because we're golfing. Proper feels like a Monday. Maybe it's because we're doing podcasts, but yesterday felt like a Sunday as well. I'm like one day in front. Don't feel like a Sunday for me.
Super Sunday, innit? So I think I'll be watching a bit of football.
Arsenal,
Probably watching United probably watching it battered.
I need to get my golf bag ready. When I say get ready, I just mean take a load of slazzing your balls out and make my bag lighter.
That's what I'm doing. I need to sort my bag.
That's the thing. It'll get expensive if you don't take enough balls.
How many balls would you take for 2 rounds of golf?
Depends who's playing.
It depends who's playing. Absolutely,
Depends how
especially
much
if you've never
water
played
there
the course as well. If there's a lot of water, if it's really hot, might run off into the rough. You never know. I'll be taking
At least 3.
Yeah. No, you got to. I'd say you'd take 10.
Is it worth taking a spare ball then, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Imagine just going with one.
Being that confident.
Yeah. Well, you played a few rounds, haven't you? A few practice rounds.
Have we?
I can safely say we won't be playing with the same ball all the way around twice. Probably lose it on first hole.
Yeah.
You having a little competition?
Yeah, we're sticking a couple of bags of sand down each.
couple of pork pies.
Couple of Elmer's pork pies. No, I don't know.
That was my tea last night when I got it from pub.
Did you chop them scores up from other day?
No, cards downstairs somewhere. It's in my bag. I'll get it in a bit. I don't know what it is.
I think I played, you're probably saying 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 4. I think I played 4. My dad hasn't played 1 round yet.
2 secs, I'll grab it.
What, do a live tot up at scores? Between me and you boys, I think there's a reason why he hasn't sent me scores so far, but we'll see. Been chasing him. I reckon he's done.
Yeah, he's picked up an empty scorecard.
He's writing them downstairs going.
But I've got all in one there. Birdie there. Ooh.
Eagle. Can't remember that eagle. It was a close round. But I have noticed a correlation between getting scores back when he plays well and when he... Depends how quick you get the scores, and it's been a few days. Still heard nothing.
Right, let's top these up. Let's do it. Right.
No cheating. Bogey, double bogey.
Yeah, I don't think you counted that high in school.
Oh God, that's
10.
terrible.
We cap it at 10, by the way. I don't think there were any 10s. There might have been a 9.
The wall. Chris got a 10 on one. He's already woefully bad. This, by the way.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now? Yeah, I can.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now? I know I can. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Oh my God, these scores are horrendous. Oh,
that were good. Well, good. First tee-off shot that we played, it was like a long par 4 on a bit of a dogleg right. And him and Charlton teed off, and I'm not joking, the balls were that far apart.
Did you get a video, did you?
Well, I did that old classic where I thought we were videoing, and then I pressed stop at ball, and then that's when video started.
Yeah, you had a good second round. Looking at that.
Yeah, maybe towards middle at second half. I don't think starter it was the best. I get worse, me. Head's gone, tired, sandwiches kicked in, motivation's gone.
It is a frustrating game, though. It used to drive me up the wall.
I got 101. That's shocking, that for me, isn't it? Sick.
101 Dalmatians.
101, it's not that bad, it's like 50.
Bad. You got 100.
Yes!
And Charlton got 107.
See, that's
4 people playing behind you.
That's good,
Just
Charlton.
zigzagging.
Yeah, it's not brilliant, is it? Like, I played again the other day and I got 98 and I felt like I played bad, but I got like a birdie and quite a few pars, but I just have them mad holes where I'll just shoot 10 and it just wrecks your scorecard. 2 par 5s.
Yeah.
You're sending it left, right. Tiger Woods in there, just trying to get it out, knocking it about 3 foot. Yeah, that's the scores. So we'll see how we get on over there.
Well, we'll take some videos anyway to stick in the next podcast. As you're watching this podcast, obviously it comes out at 7 p.m. Me and Brandon will be getting stuck into hotel bar after a second round of golf in Portugal. And then home.
Might have to do a live stream while we're over there.
Yeah?
What are you looking at, Fraud?
Have you just found a plane crash or something?
No, I've just seen, it's on BBC News. Man survives being run over by a train.
Jesus Christ. Right, current affairs.
Is he getting up there after?
It looked like he was looking at his Monzo and seeing how much he spent on beers.
But he's... Ooh, he
What,
gets
you watching
up.
the video with him getting flattened?
No, he gets fully run over by the train and he gets up and just walks off.
Does the Tyson Fury Undertaker?
Honestly, it's like, that is absolutely crazy. What else have we got in the news this week? Anything, Trent?
I'm not seeing anything.
Not current, but Dana White's teaming up with that Turkey Ella Sheikh in boxing, so that's quite big news in the boxing world.
Hey, it's
Nice.
International Women's Day today.
I thought it was yesterday.
I thought it was yesterday.
All right. Yesterday. Well, it's trending today.
What day is it today? What day is?
Big up all the women.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ben.
Yeah, a man's climbed Big Ben next to the Houses of Parliament in protest against British support for Israel and has been up there the whole day.
Fair play.
It's come down now, but...
It says it's National Meatball Day.
There's a thing every day, innit? If you search it.
Oh, God.
National Meatball Day. I wonder if there's a deal on at Subway.
What, meatballs, marinara? What is it, marinara?
Marinara.
Yeah, foot long for £2 or something.
I'm not.
Not having them in ages.
I like meatballs when they're done proper. You know, like when you know what's going into them.
Yeah.
But sometimes I look at meatballs and I think that is literally just dog food.
Well, do you not remember ages ago when they were finding horse
Oh, yeah.
in all that meatballs and
It
burgers?
was in Tesco, weren't it?
Yeah.
Weren't it something to do with, they were importing these burgers from France or something, and they were pretty...
Nay.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Sure, it was something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there we go.
could've-
2013, Tesco was involved in a horse meat scandal when some of their burgers were found to contain horse meat.
I can remember that, yeah.
It says here beef burgers contain 29% horse DNA. That is mental.
Just after the Grand National.
Mental, that.
You just don't know what you're getting. Yeah,
You don't
sometimes.
That's the thing with a burger. At least with a steak, you know, it's not been tampered with too much.
I saw a video the other day on Twitter of this geezer running up with a camera into this bloke's face, accusing him of stealing cats.
Whoa.
You've triggered him now.
Stealing cats, and then he's outside. I assume it's his business, a Chinese restaurant.
I have seen
you
it.
seen
I
it?
don't want to know. Yeah, I've seen it, and it absolutely boils my blood.
Apparently, he had 14 Maine Coons in back.
Honestly, that I would go down for many years if I'd have met that guy.
That is mental.
I just don't know how you do it. Anything animal cruelty.
Shocking. Anyway, let's get a lighter note.
Yeah,
You'll be down a dark path then, Alex.
it weren't me. Well, it might have been. I brought that.
I would go down for many years.
Hey, all right.
No, it's not
mine.
actually happening now. This is all.
I go down the pub many years. Didn't say
all
where I
right
go
then.
down.
Tell you what grinds my gears. When two people are talking to you at once, that grinds my gears. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but it happens to me quite a lot. And there's two people trying to tell you the same story, or different stories, when the other one keeps chirping up, and you're literally going like that. Yeah, and you're like, ooh, tell me the story, yeah. That grinds my gears.
Yeah, 'cause you've got to look interested in both of them, haven't you? You've got to
Yeah,
be
and
like,
you're just like thinking, come on then.
How
Like,
far away the stuff? Mars.
you know, like, somebody's telling you a story, and then his missus is also trying to tell you a story, or vice versa, chirping up, and you're like constantly just like going, yeah. Can one of you just tell me a story? That grinds my gears a little bit, not majorly, because it'd be a bit weird if it really, really grinds my gears. When cars indicate the last second, that grinds my gears, and that's been happening.
yeah, that's very annoying. Umbrellas.
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 Cheap umbrellas.
More the fact the users of the umbrella. When you're walking down the street or something and it's raining, maybe it's my fault for not having an umbrella, but catching you, nearly taking your eye out. People very inconsiderate with them.
That's the issue with being 7 foot.
Yeah.
I think I broke my umbrella on tour in Birmingham when we had that bad storm.
Typhoon. I'll be honest, it was well scary walking around there. But
Nearly got blew into the road.
yeah,
What
literally.
else grinds my gears?
I read one here from Steve Prince. He's put, tell you what grinds my gears. People who just turn their trolley sideways and block the aisle whilst having a chat.
Yeah, that's a good one, Steve. I
Yeah.
think the supermarket is just full of them, innit? You
Yeah.
could think of 50. Stressful place, a supermarket. Just full of either inconsiderate or just maybe not even that. Maybe they're just totally unaware. Like I've had it where you're trying to just walk down an aisle just to get towards tills, and it's like you're zigzagging in between, like, sorry pal, squeezing through, and it's just like stressful.
Yeah, when you're at places like Lidl and Aldi and you can't pack quick enough. I mean, I'm a pretty slow packer.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
quick.
I'm not. I have a bit of a meltdown, and then I kind of
You
look a bit. I flap a bit.
Flapper.
Yeah, yeah. I can't be doing with that. And then they're all of a sudden you've got all your shopping, and then they're like, "You're paying cash or card?" It's like I haven't even got it anywhere near in the bag here. Just give me a minute. And there's about 40 people waiting to get served. They're all looking at you like that grinds my gears.
Yeah.
But it's probably my fault.
I've been trying to get a large pack of chicken fries in bag. Like,
Yeah, and then you've got something fragile at the bottom, and you're going, "This could be a disaster." This. Oh, I've just put a load of cans on top of my eggs. Ah! Other than that, I'm pretty out.
I've just shoved a dumbbell from middle aisle on top of the brioche buns.
The brioche buns and now pikelets. Yeah, there goes my bag of crisps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bag of crumbs. Stressful.
It is. See, that can probably be helped. Just the way you stack onto conveyor belt thing.
100%. It's an art.
Yeah, you can't be putting your eggs first.
Yeah, I think always ones that pass me out are like yogurt. You know, like the big yogurts. You got to be careful with them. Otherwise, that is a serious mess.
Yeah. Do you know what? I have loads, and I forget them, which is why I need to write them down. Obviously, you've got the classic wrong beer in wrong glass. We had that actually in Scarborough, didn't we? Weren't too bad though. It were a John Smith's glass for a Guinness, which is same glass, isn't it? Really?
No, I said when we were there, I was just like, if we'd ordered if it weren't Guinness and we'd ordered any other stout and it come in that glass, we wouldn't have even thought about it, would we? If it weren't labelled up.
No.
I think I'd put my foot down. If I got served a Guinness, I was thinking this other day, I was on about it. If I got served a Guinness in a Carling, I think I'd reject it.
What about a Peroni glass?
Rejection. Yeah, no, I'm not having it.
I
Especially
don't
if you
like them big tall glasses.
I think you're well within your right to do it as well. Just be like, I'm not paying for that. They should let you know before if they're going to do that.
Well, to be fair, the woman who served us did apologise, didn't she? Bless her.
I think she saw us. I think she thought we were sniggering because we spotted it early. Which we weren't. We were just like...
Oh, yeah, we were, because I think there were one in the right glass and the rest weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were just looking at them like that, but...
weren't bad, though.
was
Basically,
good.
an old school Guinness. I prefer the old school Guinness glass to the new one, but getting it in a Carling glass or a Peroni, that's just taking me.
Yeah.
This is the new music section where we all give you a tune that is new music to some of you. It could be new band, it could be It could be a new band, an old band, solo act, duo, any of the above.
My tune is a song by a band featuring guitarist, well, weirdly, John Squire from the Stone Roses. I think when they split in 96, I think it was, he did some work with a band called the Seahorses, which is Chris Elm on vocals. I think they just did one album in 97, and the album was called Do It Yourself, but there's a tune on that, obviously one of the biggest tunes, Love Is The Law. I had it on yesterday on way to Skeg Vegas, absolutely pumping. It's just class tune, but it's a bit Led Zeppelin-y, big solo in the middle. One of them where it just breaks down, bass is absolutely grooving. I found out as well, his guitar, that guitar solo is panned slightly, good car tune, slightly to the driver's side. So his guitar is just ridiculously loud, absolutely pumping. So yeah, Love Is The Law by the Seahorses is mine. Check it out. If you're a fan of Roses or Led Zeppelin and that kind of stuff, you'll love it.
I'm scared to say one now because I might end up saying what I've said before.
My tune
You'll
is
get told.
Dirty Dirty.
My tune this week is by a band called Royel Otis, Australian band. I think they blew up because they did a cover of Linger for a session, and I'm pretty sure, in fact we were backstage, Trent, somewhere in Germany I think, and I said, I think that's that band. I think I was talking to you about it. I said, and then I looked it up and it was that band who were playing because I heard them. But the tune I'm going to say is, I think it's the biggest tune to be fair, but I still love it. It's called Oysters in My Pocket, and it's just it's just a good tune to crack up when sun's out. But yeah, good band. Give them a listen.
I'm going to go with... I couldn't really find a new band this week, so I'm going to go with an old band I've listened to for years called Thunder.
They sound heavy, them.
They're not. They're like a classic rock band from the 90s, but I was brought up on it, basically. I was a massive fan of them. I'm going to go with a song called Love Walks In. It's the top song. It's just such a good song. I heard it again recently and I was like, it's a well good song. But yeah, they were actually like part of the lineup on my first ever concert that I went to in 2013. So
nice.
Yeah, White Snake Journey and Thunder. And also Thunder were in the other studio when we were at Rockfield recording our third album. They were there as well.
Oh, yeah. Quadra.
Nice.
Yeah, really good band. If you've not heard of them, yeah, check it out. Thunder, Love Walked In.
Nice. I'm going to go with Tame Impala, Disciples.
Nice.
Mint tune. I love it how it's they cut all the bass, to start off with, and then when it kicks in.
Is that the one that goes?
Yeah. Proper summery tune.
Yeah, right tune. Some weird simps on it and all, and they're like bing bing bing.
Ding 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 ding. Yeah, I had it on the other day and I was like, turned it up. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's best time of year this when it's coming into spring.
But everything just feels so much better when sun's out. It's mad.
Yeah.
I think we've had a pretty bleak winter, mate. I think it's been shocking, hasn't it? Weather-wise.
So wet.
The bleak midwinter.
Just cold and, like you say, it's just been horrible.
Well, it's going to get cold again, I think.
Yeah, last summer was.
Don't get used to this.
At all, innit? Didn't really have a good summer last year,
No.
weather-wise.
I'm sure they're saying that they reckon our winters are going to get colder.
I hope the sun's shining when we're playing Tramlines, main stage. That'll be a good day.
Yeah, can't wait. I feel like we've not played a festival in ages. Well, last one was Victorious, was it?
Yeah, that were good. That were good, big just due to circumstances made it good.
Love them last minute ones.
If you watch last week's podcast, obviously I saw a goth in the woods is basically what happened. But all joking aside, you all looked into it, didn't you? And you said it's known for people going in woods and doing satanic rituals and witchcraft and all that.
Absolutely.
And speaking to spirits. I watched the YouTube thing on it after.
I've been back up, not at night, just to walk our Denzel and my dad's dog, which is also an English bull, let them meet each other and have a run around. Uncle Albert. And my dad, I were at bottom and I was like ringing him, like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm already up there. So I went up, and then there were a geezer on floor at Uber stand who didn't have a stand with a book on, but he was just, I don't really know what he was doing, but apparently when I saw my dad, he went, I've just had the works, me. He went, he's been blessing me. It's called not ointed or something. One of y'all might know.
I don't know.
Forgot the word. It's anointed.
And
Something like that. Like, basically, had his hand and, like, I don't know if he's been palm reading or what, but put some oil on his hands, been blessing him on his forehead and get him one of these. And then I think my dad said, oh, can I have one for my son and all? And apparently, it's supposed to... Here we go.
Somebody's going to comment this like, you're part of Devil Crew now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to never get ill ever again. So I've got one of these now, so that's me sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll all turn up at your door like, ooh.
I know. Yeah.
He's here. Yeah, exactly.
I've just had
The
the
goth
works.
tag.
But I think my dad was telling him, like, about that geezer I saw.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, they're wrong kind of people. He's on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah. He's on God's side, I think. And the other side is on the devil.
The devil gonna fill you with my demon jail.
But yeah, I haven't been back up at night. But I will.
yeah, I can't believe that when you sent me the video to put in the last podcast and your name was on the tree.
I know. And I think people probably think I've done that.
I actually thought that
Your
you'd done
name's on the
it.
tree?
You had a knife
is
or something,
weird, this.
carved it out.
No, just walking round thing, like,
Very chainsaw.
showing all writing on trees and that, and then just about finished, and it said key on one. And I didn't do it.
Spirit's very strong.
Spirits are very strong.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing though. It's an interesting place up there. There's always something happening. There's always people, more than dog walkers. There's there's either a geezer painting, or there's people sat on steps, or there's somebody anointing people.
It's in a Christmas film, that Uber Stand.
Is it?
I watched it, right, and I went, friggin' hell, it's Uber Stand. I don't know what it is, I'll find it out. In fact, I'll do it now, it'll take me 2 seconds. And I think they go in it. Or they must have filmed.
Yeah, I need to go in it. It
Get
opens up
Santa, that's what it's called.
Get Santa.
Yeah, Get Santa.
Get Santa.
Not an horror
Yeah.
movie, is it? Get Santa.
Hey, can't get Santa.
That's what it's called. But yeah, I watched that. I don't know why I watched it. I have no idea why, but I watched that, and Uber Stan were in it.
It's a Christmas film that takes a satanic twist.
It's not. I say it's not just a. It's not just like a little. Oh, you see it in there. It's actually there's quite a lot of the film in it,
I'll have a look at that.
like in and around it. But
When it opens up, I'm gonna go in it. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll have to go. Next time when we're next over,
why don't we do a
Should go
music
up
video
there.
there?
Yeah.
shout.
Why don't we do that? That'd be good.
Yeah.
I've always thought it'd make a good album cover. It's a bit Temples, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit devil.
Was it Sun Structures?
Yeah.
Or was it the one after?
I've always wanted to do that. Anyway, I've always wanted to do an album where it's. I've said it to you for years. You know, where it's an actual image of a place, a real place, so people can actually visit it.
It's a bit Who as well.
The Who.
Yeah.
Fan comments. Well,
Yep.
That's where we read out questions and comments from other podcasts.
Shoot.
So the podcast, when we're
Shoot.
talking about people recommending films, 'cause this was a couple of podcasts ago. Jamie Hatwell, gotta be Pulp Fiction for me. What a film.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen it.
Definitely in the top 5.
I've not watched it either.
Honestly, watch
Tarantino.
it.
Or if I
Anything
have, I can't
Tarantino's
remember
meant.
it, but I don't feel like I have watched it for some reason. But no,
With John Travolta. Good.
Very good.
The famous dance.
Steve Woodhouse. Top films by genres. Crime/thrillers. Seven. I don't think I've heard of that
7.
one.
Is that, yeah? Is it not the horror?
Western. The Magnificent Seven. Theme here. Original version, he said. Musical. Grease. Classic, innit?
Yeah.
Comedy. Equal number 1. Dumb and Dumber. And
Nice.
and Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold member.
not watched that for years. I bet I ain't watched that for like 10 years, probably
Maybe.
longer.
I was surprised that they haven't made another one, but I feel like there is talk of him doing another, returning to Austin Powers.
Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Favourite
Marty.
movie has to be Studio 666, that weird horror comedy movie by
Bear
Foo
Grylls.
Fighters. I've not actually watched that one. I didn't
No,
want to watch it.
I can imagine that's pretty good, to be fair. It's a
Yeah.
decent laugh.
It's only a couple of years old, isn't it? 2-3 years old.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yeah. But just before Taylor died, wasn't it?
Yeah. Favourite film got to be High Fidelity. Don't know that one.
Don't know it.
Never heard of it.
John Cusack is awesome in it.
Don't know, I'm have to
I
get
don't know who
watched.
he is.
Thank you.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan.
Pierce.
Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah.
I'd love Pierce Morgan in it.
Pierce.
Matt has said you should put Elmer's picture on the front of your drum skin. That's what he said.
Said that, having said that, last podcast.
Either that
No.
or just a close-up or a big pork pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutting off.
Yeah, cross section needed.
And speaking of places, where have you been that you thought generally, you'd want to go back and sightsee?
Probably Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Very
I want to
scenic.
go back to that place. I think it was in Poland. You know where we went? We found that pub.
That
when I said
one underground, was it?
the one underground were really
Yeah.
cool. But like that city, I can't even remember where it was. But it looked like there was so much to do there. But we had the smallest amount of time ever there. Whereas I think we'd have probably
Is it
had a
when we had
rate.
the pork cracklings?
Pork knuckle.
Yeah.
Pork knuckle, yeah.
Yeah,
Was
was
that
like
Krakow?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
It
Warsaw?
might have been, you know.
Or was it
One of them.
Warsaw?
I don't know, but whatever that was, like, because I think there's a video. Well, there definitely was a video of the food that we got. We were like a brewery as well, weren't it? Brewery /
Yeah.
restaurant thing. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit too knuckle
I'd like to go back there. Thought it were good.
knuckle sandwich.
You're in Krakow. It were a place called... I don't even want to...
CK Browar.
I don't know. It was basically, we went to like a brewery and we got some
Good though.
food. It was like a platter, weren't it? Like pork knuckle, something else.
Yeah, it was
funny,
traditional,
actually.
weren't it?
You know that
It was
pork
class.
knuckle? So, this is quite funny. I didn't want to waste it, but I didn't want to smash it on pork.
I know what you're gonna say.
I said, excuse me, mate, can I have it wrapped up? He went, yep, no problem. Absolute legend. Took my food away, brought it back. Not only did he wrap it up, he put it in this container that was vacuum sealed, be like a bit of polythene thing where it's obviously melted it, so it's all vacuum sealed. I was like, oh, sound. Put it in van.
Yeah.
Drove home, got to hotel, fast forward next morning. I skipped breakfast thinking I'll eat rest of my pork knuckle. I had my earphones in anyway. I think
Yeah.
so I couldn't hear anything.
It was funny.
So I got my pork knuckle out on this vacuum sealed can't say sealed thing. Popped it with my fork. And within about half a second my dad just went, who's farting?
It absolutely reeked.
Funny as hell. It had like bits of cabbage in it and stuff. And then pork knuckle and it absolutely reeked. And then when like I had tunes blasting me in a second, he just went, whoa, who's farted? And all windows went down.
It was a lot of cabbage. Like it must have just been fermented overnight. It was funny.
Oh no! Oh.
Then
Oh dear.
all windows go down. It's absolutely freezing. Blasting through Krakow. Everybody, we've got another special guest on this week. He's a very, very good friend of ours, Dan, from a band called Cusp. They're touring around Europe with us. Alex looking at me. It's because I've been calling them the Cusp. There's no the. They're called Cusp. They're a great band. They're from Milton Keynes. They're touring around Europe with us, and I think they're playing the Glasgow date on his UK
Leeds.
tour.
Yeah,
And
they're an
Leeds.
amazing band.
So yeah, this is our chat with Dan. Check them out. Great band. Right, everybody, we're joined by our good friend Dan. He's from a band called I was going to say the Cusp then. It's from a band called Cusp. If you haven't heard them, check them out. Get to know them. They've got some great songs, great sound. Joining us on tour in Europe as well. Yeah, Dan, it's a very, as you'll find out, very underprepared, informal chat. Just want to ask you some random stuff and obviously stuff about band. And but yeah, can you tell us, I suppose can you tell us a little bit about Cusp, when you started, how you started, and what's kind of going off a minute.
Sure. Yeah, so we've been a band, it feels like forever. I think like maybe 5 or 6 years. I've played with Jack, the drummer, for maybe 8 years now, because I was solo before the band. So yeah, we've been together for a while, but because of COVID, we didn't release anything for ages. So we were a band for about 3 years before we put any music out. Yeah, like publicly, we've been going for 2 or 3 years, but that's about it.
Were it yesterday? You're in studio, I assume. Is that like
yes? Yeah.
album related?
Yeah, I've been recording a lot at the minute. We're working on an EP that's coming in the spring, so trying to finish that at the moment, and then also starting to demo for the first records, which is about time. I mean, we should have, but you know what the industry's like now. I mean, I feel like creatively, it feels like we're on our third record, but we haven't put an album out. So we're trying to catch up and just not wait around. You know, there's so much pressure, I think, on bands for the first record to be big. You know, so you think you shouldn't release it until you can sell 500 tickets in every town. But the way things are now, I think you just gotta move with the music and get things out. It might take us 2 or 3 albums to get to where we want to be, but that's just the way the world is now.
Yeah, I mean, do you think albums are such a big thing anymore as well? I mean, like, obviously EPs, a lot of people do EPs. I mean, like single releases.
Yeah,
Albums
I mean,
are the same.
I don't know about you guys, but I still think in terms of albums, you know, that's the way, you know, obviously I listen to playlists and like everyone does, but you think of any great artist, it's always been about records, you know, even though now the way you release it might be different. Like you might put out 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 singles before the album comes out. If you zoom out and you look at the Sherlocks over 30 years, you'll be thinking about album 1, 2, 3. No one will remember when you put out the first single, whether that was 6 months before. It's like, I remember when I was growing up and I was like 12, 13, when AM came out by Arctic Monkeys, and Are You Mine was out for like a year and a half before the album. And I remember at the time as a fan being like, why are they putting that on this album? But now when you look back in history, no one remembers that. So yeah,
true.
Just trying to record and make as much music as we can and get it out.
Which studio you're recording in, Dan?
A few places. So our producer Jake, he's kind of a permanent member of the band, but he's not in the band, you know what I mean? He's got a little studio, a place called Beaconsfield. Yeah, there's somewhere locally here. To be honest, we do it across. I've got a little home studio here, so we do it, you know, in various spaces. I think for the records, we want to see if we can get the cash together to go. We've got a studio in mind in London, and we want to see if we can spend some time there and get the sound right. But for us, I mean, for this EP, we did a couple of days in the studio, and you know what it's like when you're paying a day rate to record. We put the drums down for the track, and then when we lived with it for a couple of weeks, we realised that the song wasn't right, and we wanted to completely change it. These days, you know, it all goes back to money. You know, in the 70s, if you had a band, you could be in the studio for 6 weeks making a record, and it wouldn't matter if you wanted to change an arrangement on the fly, or if you wanted to change the key of the song or the tempo. It's fine, because you would be paying, you know, $1,000 a day for Sound City Studios or whatever. But these days, yeah, we're trying to make the most of recording at home and doing what we can.
I was just going to ask you that, Dan. Like, I hate the wording of this question when people go, "What's your process?" But what is? So for us, I tend to demo stuff. Got a little bit lazier as years have gone on, so I'll not try and fully flesh out so long as the verse and a chorus. That's pretty much it. And then when we come to record, we've sort of like. It's interesting you say about, like, in studio, I think all of us want to just go, get stuff down. And I think if we could, we'd move pretty quick. And a lot of the time, like you say, like you might, so we tend to base it 2 days per track. And I think often, even though taking the time works out well, like sometimes we get a little bit frustrated where we, say if it's a bit of a tricky drum part or whatever, whenever we leave the studio after the first day and maybe we've just got drums down, it's just like you just think like it's took a day to get drums down. And obviously there's a lot of hard work and thought that's gone into it, so you kind of just ignore it. But yeah, as far as recording, we like to go into the studio and have that extra set of ears and ideas.
Sure, yeah.
put into it. But like, you know, when it comes to yours, are you using stuff from demos as well and then recording new stuff, or do you start a complete fresh and think, right, the demo, now we're going to record it for real, or is it like
we've done it in every way, to be honest. There's no, particularly around COVID, so a song like Coming Up Roses, that was, I sketched out the demo at home, and it was like the whole song pretty much in terms of like feeling of it was made at home, and then we played it live for 2 years, and then the way I was like attacking the guitar and guitar parts, and obviously Jack and Ad's musicality came through playing it live, and that evolved over time, and then we recorded the song. But it's still kind of, the demo is very similar in some ways to how the song ended up, and definitely inspired the final version. And it's always really hard with us because I think we'll sometimes have like a magic in a demo, but then want it to sound like a band, and then we try and get the best of both worlds. But we've also done it, in the times where I was demoing a lot and like recording myself, and songs were getting quite far along, just, me at home. That also takes away some of the band energy. So then for a couple of years, I write all the time anyway. And then I was kind of almost scared of demoing at home because I wanted, what it's like you want to bring in a song to practice and everyone have chance to like have their influence on it, and for a song to go somewhere that the one person can't get. So for a while we went completely the opposite way. I think now we're trying to, like Adam records at home as well, and I do, and it's kind of more fluid. So some songs, it bounces between, but I think we definitely, even if I'm starting a song here or me and Adam are doing it here or wherever, that we always go back to the practice room and we make sure that it feels good between the three of us. We're trying to like include the best of everything. But it's no one set way, I think.
I think the first time I heard about it was my dad. I were in car. I think I was we're driving to Kelham Island actually for a drink, and he put on. I think were he speaking to your dad first, and then I think your dad might have said, "Oh, my son's in a band." Blah blah blah. Fast forward, I'm in car with my dad, and he were playing some of your tunes, and I can always remember hearing that Days Now. So I don't know if you produced that or if you did it yourself, or
Jake, our producer, produced that in the end. But that one sounds less like a band, I think. It's very like built around that drum machine thing.
Right.
So that was Jake produces it all, but we were definitely kind of like co-producing things at that time.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, I can remember my dad playing it, and we were both just like, production sounds mint on it, like it, because we're always doing that anyway. Like if there's new bands popping around and stuff, we always try and look further and be like, who's produced that? Like, it sounds brilliant. Do you know all these songs for the album? Do you feel like you've been sat on these songs a while then now? Like they're pretty much
it's a mix. I'm always sat on songs. I'm not sure what's going to end up on the album, but we kind of don't want it to be, because it's like we could do a record and we could just put some of the songs that are already out, but it's been quite a while, so we want it all to be new stuff. But I write every day. I'm quite kind of, that's just what I do. We've got a lot to choose from for what will end up being on the record, but there'll also be songs I've written more recently. It's kind of a mix, but I think we're quite good at, I'll bring a load of songs to the boys, and even songs that we've had knocking around for a while but haven't, for whatever reason, come through to being ones we'll play. We'll include those as much as we'll include something that I've written yesterday and we're excited about. So we're kind of not precious over when things happen. It's just a case of moving through it.
Good that you've got a lot of material obviously banked. It's a great thing to have.
Yeah, it's good and bad. It can be a weird problem to have. And also, like, we're talking a lot at the moment about what the sound of Cusp is, because we have a lot of different kinds of music. It's not just from like a band marketing point of view. It's not really very easy to understand, and like obviously there's people like yourselves that get it, and people like our tunes, but I think it's not, you can't really put us in a box. There's not really bands you can directly compare us to. We kind of take bits from different places. We're trying to make the record and what we do in future be kind of consistent a little bit more, rather than just jumping around different styles and influences too much.
How many songs would you say you sat on at the minute? Because I suppose it is a bit of a dilemma for you guys. If you've wrote a bunch of songs from that time around the same time as, like, say, your early singles, the tunes that people know at minute, Days Now, and Coming Up Roses and stuff, do you sort of have to cap it in your head and think? So, like, when we made our first album, there were probably songs floating around that ended up on second album, but rather than, I think we made a conscious decision to go, we've been playing this set of songs for years now. We're just going to make that the first album and bookmark it sort of thing.
And I think that was also a different time as well. I think with us, we've ended up in a weird situation where we put things out and it's kind of felt like enough time's passed that now that can be what it was and we can move on. But in terms of, I mean, I'm the kind of, I don't know what you're like in terms of songwriting, but the way I work is that to write one song, I'll write 10 because, I don't know, I just like write a lot and kind of, I try not to think about editing it or making it good at the first draft stage. So there's probably, and I've been doing that, so I'm 28 now. I've kind of done that in that way since I was like 14, and I was in writing like when I was 8. But I remember being like in school and in my head I'd be like, I'm like writing my first album, and then I'd write 50 songs and then I'd be like, no, these 10 are the album, and then when I was 16 I'd do the same and the same. So then over the years there's like hundreds of songs that haven't seen the light of day. But I think for the album we'll probably like 30 or 40 that I think are strong and good enough to go on the record and finish. But then in order to get to that 30 or 40, there'll be like in my phone.
I've got 20,000.
Well, on voice notes, I have 6,391 voice notes. And then there's little folders I've made where I'm like, songs to work on, there's 98. Debut, it's stupid because like, I like move so quickly. Like I've made different folders over the time, and like there's one that says debut album that's 76. I don't know what's in there, but it's just.
At least you're organised.
Yeah, you're making me.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's just sometimes when I'm
lazy.
Like sat in a car or on a train or something, that's the only time I listen to it. Now I'll scroll back through, and sometimes I'll listen to one. It will be like 20th of May 21. I'm like, oh, that could have been a good song, but I've just forgotten about it. It's just this.
That's mad that you've got that many tunes. Like, you must really, well, obviously enjoy songwriting, but how did you start getting into that? Were there like a certain band, or how did you get into music? As in, like, I want to be a songwriter, because you must really enjoy writing songs to write that many songs.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, to me, it's just normal. I grew up with, my dad was into and showed me like The Who and classic rock basically when I was growing up. And then I became like an indie kid, and I found the Kooks and stuff like that when I was 12 or 13. And throughout that, it was always like the thing that I love the most is songwriters like Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty, Neil Young. And then through watching interviews and watching documentaries on people like Bruce Springsteen, he would always talk about that thing of, for the first few albums, he would write 100 songs, and then there'd be people in the interview being like, Bruce would come in with this that obviously sounds like a hit, and everyone's like, why isn't that on your album? And Bruce would just be like, it doesn't fit with what he wants to be doing, and then he'll just go in the bin. We talk about in the band of songs being in the bin, and we have a pile of songs that are good, but we just got rid of it. It's weird to explain, but it's just always been my mindset of, I'm always thinking, because the great ones when they come, and you would have experienced this like yourselves, that I'm sure a lot of your biggest songs didn't take any effort and they just came out of nowhere. And when people talk about songs, it feels like you don't write it. And I'm always trying to get to that point where I put the time in and the effort and turn up, which I didn't do when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was arrogant and I thought I was a genius and I could just not try. Whereas now, I just put the time in and work. And you're banging your head against the wall and writing average songs every day. It's not like every day I get out of bed and I'm like, think I'm Paul McCartney. Boring, and like, you don't know where the next idea is going to come from. But without fail, like, to me, it's just a way of living. It's just the way that I see the world and the way I understand the world. Even everywhere I am, and it's just always what I'm thinking about. And because it's amazing, it's like a drug. Like, I'm addicted to, the time when a song comes out of nowhere and you're like, this sounds like all the music I love, but it didn't exist, and now it's mine. You know, that's just.
I think it's quite a powerful thing, like songwriting. Obviously, I can't write a song to save my life, like, but I can imagine,
You
like,
could. You could.
well, it'd not be any good, like, but yeah, it's like if you're creating something, especially when you're putting it on an album, and it's there forever, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And it's enough.
But going back to what you were saying about, you know, the songs that you put in the bin or you park them for a little bit. I remember, me and Kieran, we're big fans of the band The Enemy. And I remember watching this interview before Tom Clark, and he were like, I think it was like the third or fourth album, and he were talking about a song that they'd had since the first album, and they revisited it because they'd just parked it, and it ended up being like one of the biggest tunes on their third or fourth album. And that's happened with us as well. It's like we've parked tunes and then we've come back to them like 3 albums in or 4 albums in, because it just weren't right at that time. I think Turn the Clock? What's the Games You Play?
Games You Play.
Yeah.
And then we've come, and it's ended up being like one of the best songs on album. So it's just, I think a lot of it's about just not forcing things and just letting it do its thing, and then when the timing's right, it'll all come together.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard to judge when you're the people writing, or if it's your song. It's hard for you. Sometimes you're following your instincts, that's the one I need to work on. But in the moment, you might have something that for whatever reason you just don't click with, but there's no reason why other people might not like it. The way I see it is that I think I'm relatively alright at judging quality of the stuff. So like by the time I bring a song to the band, I'm pretty confident, because I'm terrified of them thinking it's crap. I'll put the work in, make sure that I know it's good, because I've had so many experiences where you bring in a song and the other's like, don't do anything for me, and that's like a nightmare. So I'm relatively good at knowing when it's strong. But
do you have a little like cooling off period?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then
do you show it anyone else? When you write a song, is it the first people you show it the band, or did you like show it your parents or whatever? Think, is this any good, or you got like some just to test water before you bring it to the band?
There's a couple of people I've known for a while, like in and around Milton Keynes. There's a couple of people. I mean, not many people care. I've tried in the past, and you never get what you want. Recently, I've been sending songs to ChatGPT, and it's unbelievable the feedback you get.
What does it do though? Because I use it a lot for like searching things. I didn't even know you could put songs into it.
You should try it. I mean, it gives me what I could never. Because like when I send songs to normal people, they'll be like, their reaction is either, oh yeah, that's decent, or you're not getting much more than that. Whereas AI, like, it fully goes to town.
That's mental.
It is weird. It's weird. It's good. It does it with lyric, but it just strokes your ego a bit. I think me and Jake, our producer, were saying ChatGPT is just a people pleaser. You send it and it just tells you what you want to hear. But sometimes when like writing something, it can be very internal and like almost lonely. You don't really know if something's good, and you've got to trust yourself. So it is important to bounce things off people or AI, whatever.
I know what you mean about that feeling though when the song first starts coming together, where you think this is decent and you stumble across it. It is a bit like a drug, but yeah, just hearing you speak, Dan, you're obviously clearly very disciplined and taking it way more serious than I am, because I haven't picked my guitar up in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
We're the complete opposite in terms of songwriting. I don't want to say lazy, but I definitely don't wake up and think, because I'm sure I've heard like Noel or people say it where regardless they'll pick the guitar up every day, and I just can't seem to motivate myself to do that. So when we write an album, it's bare minimum basically. It's like if it's a 10-track album, there's maybe 13 songs that get sent into a Dropbox kind of thing. So
For you, is the writing, is it a means to an end? Is playing live for you guys the goal, and then the writing is kind of like you've got to write and you've got to record in order to get?
No, not necessarily. I love songwriting, but I'm not It takes me ages to finish a song. Ages, years sometimes. Like, they'll only ever see, like I say, maybe 13 of the best that I think are decent. Sometimes the band don't necessarily get it or they're not into it. And then it all changes anyway. Like, it's a big process. Like, there's a tune on our latest album coming out, Here Comes the Rain. I can remember, I don't think Brandon Moore, I won't say he weren't a fan, but he just didn't really get where it was going. Then by the time you get in studio and you figure out, and it's like, no, I want that to do that. Then and I want to save this rather than make this line a hook. I just want it to appear once or whatever, and then we'll go into a solo. And then before you know it, but that's just down to learning songs. Obviously, these songs I might have had for months, and it's on fresh ears for these. But
so Here Comes the Rain. Sorry, Dan. That was one. There was a whole section that when we finished recording was like, this needs something, and then we were done in the studio, weren't we? And then we were still, that section wasn't finished.
Yeah.
So I think it ended up with it was spoken word on it. It sounds absolutely huge.
I wish I were a little bit more like that, to be fair, where I'm churning out songs, loads of songs, and then I can be like, I heard somebody else say it. I don't know if it was Sam Fender, it might have been somebody else. They were talking about a new record, or Big Image on the last podcast, possibly. Somebody said like, oh yeah, we've got 50 songs, and to me that is genuinely like mad. I'm like, 50 songs, like, takes me ages to write 50.
Do you know what? I think that part of that comes down to thinking that everything you write has got to be good. And I think I mentioned that earlier, but I think that's like the biggest thing. Even though I've always written a lot of songs, I'm more, as I've got older, I'm definitely more disciplined with it. But the biggest thing that I try to do is when I'm writing, I try and take my judgment and my mind out of it. So I'm just writing, and then you're just playing music, and then when the good stuff happens, then it's easy. But I'd recommend, I mean, even just, obviously your songs are great, but I mean, in terms of just for a way of living, it's just not a bad way to spend your time. You think, especially these days, and I try and do it myself, I can easily lose an hour scrolling on my phone, like everyone does.
Yeah.
But I know that instead of doing that, if I write a song, then it's just not a bad way to spend your time. You would never look at your time and think, or even if you look back on your life and you're like, I've written a load of songs, that's only good can come out of that.
No, 100%. It's productive, isn't it? And being creative. Do you always finish your songs as well? When you start one, I don't either. Well, obviously.
No, I'm very bad at that. No, I'm definitely very good at having ideas and starting ideas, but I'm too quick. I have too many new ideas because the thing I'm addicted to is just the first bit.
The spark.
Yeah, the spark. And then I'm like that, and then it goes away, which is why I've got so many ideas. So even though you might think, he's disciplined, he works hard, a lot of it is just me being stupid because I love that first moment. So even when there'll be times, I remember a couple of days ago actually, I sat, and first thing in the morning is great, I'll get up, go for a run, pick up the guitar, I will have an idea, record it, I'm like, this is fucking great, and then I have another one and another one, and then there'll be like 5, but then I won't finish them for ages. So that's the hard work.
That's me. Yeah. I think I'm same. I think I'm addicted to that spark of like, this is a new idea that I've created, but I can't finish.
It kills it. I love finishing music, but also I'll listen to the songs that we put out. I've listened to thousands of times throughout making them, and then when it's done, I'll be playing it in the car on repeat over and over and over and over again because I'm obsessed with it. And as soon as it comes out, it's dead. I enjoy playing them live, but I'll never listen to it. But yeah, I don't care about finishing.
I think subconsciously as well, for us, it might be similar for you guys, but like the spark and the idea. So if I'm lucky, I'll get a verse 1 with lyrics done and stuff, and then the chorus melody, which might change slightly lyric wise. Same with lyrics. I've never been massive on lyrics, not the best lyricist, but it's melody for me. Is
that how your songs? Do you start? Is it a melody idea with the guitar, or is it?
Do you know what? Thinking about it, I think I get the spark for a song more times than not when a guitar into my hand. So I could be in shower and I'll be singing a melody, I can hear what the chords are doing behind. And often I'll pick the guitar up and start trying to work on it, and I end up confusing myself. So then I put guitar down and just start cracking on with my day. I write more melodies and tunes or ideas for songs like that. But as far as finishing the songs, I definitely don't do it on purpose, because these boys will vouch for me. It's stressful finishing songs, but I can't help it. So I can't finish songs or write them in one go. But maybe subconsciously, maybe it's just a way of keeping it fresh for me as well as for all of us. So like when we do get into studio, because our last 2 albums, it ain't even been a bunch of songs. It's been a bunch of ideas, music ideas with a few lyrics. 4th album, People Like Me and You, that one, I remember Brandon and my dad just like going, have you got any songs? And I was like, they're not full songs. I've got some ideas. And then as soon as they heard it, it was just enough to be like, book some studio time. And then I had to finish writing the songs in album. And I've done exactly the same on this last one. Finish writing them in studio.
It's a bit chaotic towards the end.
I think, I think with the original ideas with songs though, I think as long as it's got, it sounds so daft saying it, but you know, it's got to have something. But when our key plays as a tune or whatever, it's like it's either going to have a guitar hook or a good melody or something driving about it, or something where you just think, yeah, this could go somewhere. And I think you all know it in that moment when you're listening, you're thinking, yeah, this has either got it or it ain't got it, or this has got that. That's the focus. This could be a good song.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. But yeah, it's interesting. I always.
Do you ever write with anyone else?
No. I can't.
No, I know. He said to me before he doesn't seem to like that kind of thing. Like not, write with other like a lot of songwriters do write with other people, don't they?
Well, when we were signed to a label on the first album, probably going into first album, like I said earlier, the songs, we always knew what songs were going to be on it. It was same set list we've been playing for years. We just saw it as every fan we've got and every person we've got interested in his music up to this point, we've been playing these tunes. So we felt like we couldn't really put. If we'd have come out with his first album and none of them songs were on, I think people might have been like, I don't know. So we just did that because we've been playing them tunes for ages. But the second album, I can remember feeling not insulted, but almost like a bit of pressure, like quite a lot of pressure. The question kept on getting asked about co-writing, and I was thinking, why does this keep getting brought to me? And I just kept on firing it back, going, no, I'm not interested in it. We're like, oh, has he thought about co-writing? And then you start thinking, well, are you not happy with the songs or what the first album's just done? And it didn't do bad. Like, we got top 10 with it. But I don't.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done it at all?
Yeah, I did it once in, I don't know, I forgot the name of the band. It was something to do with The View. Not The View. I forgot the name of the band. I went down to London. It was something related to, like a friend of the Baby Shambles who were also in a band or something. And basically I ended up just going down, getting a train down to London, which were a big thing for me back then. Going down London on my own, meeting a guy, and then going to somebody's flat, and then just trying to write a tune with this geezer who I'd never met.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
It's not. Yeah, it's not for me. I'm not opposed to it. If it was somebody like you, for example, who I know a little bit more than just a random guy, and it was just a bit of fun, and it were happening naturally, or you weren't taking it too serious, and you were actually coming out with some good ideas, I won't be against it. But you're probably the same, Dan. A lot of songs just come from personal experience and stuff you can only put into words or music.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think I'd like to do it in the future. It's just hard, especially when you spend so many hours doing it yourself. It's a little bit weird to share that with someone. And I think I'm quite competitive. So you kind of start, unless you were close with someone and you knew someone, you'd be trying to, I don't know. I think when the one time I did it, it was kind of like, and this is like the problem with me, it was almost like I was writing a song and they were just in the room. And so it was just pointless. Like they'd just be watching or suggesting things. So I think you've definitely got the great examples of when you've got Lennon and McCartney who are both equally as good and they're pushing each other rather than the dynamic being a bit different. But everyone does it now because no one can write tunes. So it's like you get signed to a label and then you sticking with like 10 writers or whatever, and it's strange.
I think that's mad. You see pop
Yeah.
tunes. You got pop tunes, and then you see you got credits, and there's about 12 people on it, and it's like the most simple song ever.
Yeah, and you just think, does this song even mean anything to anyone, or has everybody just chucked in a random sentence? Like,
I saw it on was it the Lewis Capaldi documentary? I mean, he's great by all means, but his process was him on various Zooms and like multiple writers and stuff, and it's like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier about like looking at who produces tracks and going deeper. And I was always the same. Like if you like an artist, you want to know about how they created something. So then when it's 10 people, you kind of miss. I don't know. It's just it's odd. That's a hard game. It's a hard game for those songwriters to make a living because they're in all of these sessions and. Yeah, there's definitely like an art to it, and I think there's more and more good music. People now like Sabrina Carpenter or Chapel Roan or stuff like that, where they're working with one or two writers, but they're a big part of it, and some great tunes can come out. Like when you look at a Drake album, the way that he makes records is that he'll have like a house of people, and he'll just walk around the different rooms and then pick a beat and then write some words on it, and it's the credits on that are like not even 10, it's like 50 people. It's
oh my god,
a different thing to our world.
I've seen it where there's like some songwriters there'll be a soul songwriter who's really, really good, and they write songs for all these big artists, but they're not performers or they can't sing, but they're just good songwriters. But I think there's one guy, I forgot his name, but I think he's wrote tunes for like massive pop stars, whereas he must feel I forgot his name, but he's in a position where he's like he can write the songs, but he's kind of giving it someone else to put it out to the world, so it's getting the song's getting the recognition, but he's not getting the. I forgot his name, to be fair.
Yeah, there's a guy, you know, Simon Aldridge, who was in
Cherry Girls.
Yeah, he writes a lot of like Liam Gallagher's stuff and various other, I think Sam Smith and a few other. And Cherry Ghost, the first 3 Cherry Ghost albums are amazing. They're like 3 of it. He's probably one of my favorite songwriters, and he's like that now, where he didn't really care about playing on stage or anything, but just wanted to write songs. He was actually someone, he once sent me like an email giving me like encouragement on writing. I've always kind of had him, or like the words that he'd said in my mind when things look bleak, and you're like, right, and you're making all this music and you stick it on Spotify and you get a few thousand streams. I was trying to remember he was like, you know, very influential. The industry now is just broken.
It's mad, isn't it? It is all Spotify, but it's all digital kind of thing. But I think you've just got to move with the times, I think, or you just get left behind. Just keep like we keep as core values, but you've kind of got to see it all the time now. But it's saying like bands, they've had to kind of shift to become like content creators or whatever, like rather than just. Like, let's just be in a band, write some good tunes, absolutely smash it. Even if you did that now, it feels like it's not enough to even keep up with getting new fans and stuff. You've got to do everything, haven't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We've always been in that mindset where we were like, if we could just make records and play live, we'd be fine. You know, and if we were born in a different time, things would be very different. But
I'm just going to say that. I think we're born in the wrong era. If we were around in the 90s or even early 2000s, I think we'd be possibly somewhere different. It's weird, isn't it? It's kind of like it is what it is. So if you can't change it, it's just so you either do it or you don't. Like you either just be a band, play gigs, make records, and that's it, the old school way, or you take on things like TikTok and doing.
You can't change it.
No, I kind of agree. I completely agree with what Kieran said. Like maybe in a different time, but also I do think I'm kind of glad we're not trying to break through now, as in like trying to start a band and try and get fans now, because I feel like it's probably even harder now to try and break through. Like we were like, it felt like there were at least a little bit of a scene when we come onto the scene. Like there were quite a few different bands like Amazons and us and Catfish and the Bottlemen had just took off, and it felt like radio and like the media were into bands still slightly, but now it just feels like it's completely changed. It feels like I was kind of hoping, like, with Oasis getting back together, there's going to be like a cycle of, everyone's back into bands and stuff like that, but it feels further away than ever, if I'm honest. And you're just looking at, for example, looking at the state of some of these festival lineups, and I'm just like, they don't even resemble anything of the past at all. Like
TikTok lineups.
That's a big thing for me. It's like, I've said it before, we've turned up at festivals and that, and we're going, isn't that guy off TikTok? Or like, it's basically someone who's really good at social media has got themselves to a platform where they've got that much reach that they're kind of getting themselves on festivals, which is fair enough, but like, sure, back in the day, like, these festivals weren't designed for like TikTok influencers. It's more like, let's just get some good bands on who can play good songs to people who's paid to come and watch some good music, not someone who's got, I don't know, 1 million followers because he's got, I don't know, he's good on TikTok and he can do a 15-second hook, or a dance, or tell a joke, or whatever. I don't know. I think the state of the industry is changing, but I am so glad. Like I say, we actually had a bit of a scene when we were coming through. I feel like it's felt away.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's not impossible now, but obviously we all have jobs. The only reason we're able to tour, for example, like the tour with you guys in Europe, we want to do it because it's a great opportunity and we can't wait to play the shows and be with you lads and everything. But we couldn't do that if we didn't have jobs, and we're very lucky in the same way you're lucky you came through the previous generation. We're lucky because we have 9-to-5s and we can enjoy making music and graft and work hard, but we're not there at the end of the month worrying about how we're going to put food on the table because we're trying to make money from music. So that means that our mindset is, we want to be doing this for the rest of our lives, and if we have to just build it slowly over 10, 15, 20 years, then that's what we got to do, but we can afford to do that. But if you're like a working class band, teenagers now, how are you going to pay for 50 quid for a rehearsal room? You just wouldn't do it. So that's why they're on TikTok or playing video games, or they're just not bothered about being in a band. And then when you think you can go and watch a tribute band playing Wonderwall, people are going to go and see that because it's a song they know. They're not excited to see something new. But you've just got to love it. That's
the passion for it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the old school mentality. You'd like to think good songs and a good band and a good show and personality and all the rest of it. Exactly what you boys are doing will always prevail, and it will. Like, I think, which shows are you all doing now? Are you doing the German ones as well?
Yeah, we're doing all of Europe and Glasgow, Leeds, and Buckley.
Some belters there. There'll be some big gigs. It'll be a cracking talk. I think going back to what you said about about feeling like you're lucky, or we feel lucky, but I feel like if you work hard and graft, kind of make your own luck. It's you just got to keep banging doors down. That's all we've done. Yeah. And then if you keep going, like, I think people respect that, but it's like you're gonna get some at some point, and you just got to keep going. That's we've always said same. Like, just keep banging doors down. Enjoy it. Most importantly, like, it'll be a good experience just to come out to Europe and tour together, and it's as long as you have a laugh along the way and pick fans up, that's all we're about. I think it's just keep working.
And that's why, like
you say, if you're
I'm sure all the other, for what you guys, like you taking us out, means the world. And without that, without other bands supporting smaller bands, then the industry just crumbles. So like, you guys are doing what the industry should be doing, giving opportunities and giving bands the ability to play in front of new fans. That keeps the scene alive. I think that's such an important thing, because so many bands in your position, they'll just let the agents and the promoters and management make deals between, and then the support bands, all the slots go. There's no way that it's hard enough as it is, but for a new band now to have a chance, you need the support slot. So it's so important.
Have you played around Europe before, Dan?
I played in Paris when I was solo, but that's it. I've heard Germany's good. I know you guys have said that.
It's a real eye-opener. I love it.
You get fed.
I prefer it. A lot of ham and cheese on this tour.
Yeah.
Ham, cheese, bread. Each class, I think the crowds are just
passionate.
I think, and maybe what some UK crowds are missing a little bit, like just put the phones down a little bit and just actually enjoy a rock and roll show.
I can't wait. We're so excited for it, and I think it's so easy in like the UK guitar scene to just think that the UK is the be all and end all. Like everyone's thinking about Manchester and London and Glasgow and whatever, which is obviously great, but like to look and think like there's a world of people that love music, you know, and even if it's the same, like driving to Europe, it's kind of the same as driving across this country. So it's not even, I know it is. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, and it's like just cause you sometimes get in this little bubble of just like you say, Manchester, London. We need to go to Glasgow. When there's people in Japan, or there's people like people in Cologne who are probably massive fans of your band, and then you see that. It's only when you do see that you think, oh God, we've actually got however many we're playing, a few hundred, 500, whatever, 1,000 people sat in like Cologne or Hamburg, and they're coming out to see you. As well as like, that's what I really enjoy about touring, particularly like Germany. They'll just see there's a band on, and they'll just come out, regardless of whether they know you. They're like,
and they travel so far.
It's a culture thing, isn't it? It's like they really just support. I think you'll find as well when you're opening up and stuff, it'll be full because they'll come down and support the supports. Whereas like in UK, we're lucky that we've got such an hardcore fan base who do come down and support, but there's many bands where they'll be supporting other bands and they'll be playing to like nobody because nobody will get in and watch them.
And even if they are, people don't care.
No. But Germany's been really good to us. Well, just Europe in general. We absolutely love touring Europe, and it's gonna be a blast.
We can't wait. For us as well, like being from Milton Keynes, in a place where there's not really like there's a couple of venues, but there's not a music scene. So that's been like the hardest thing for us getting off the ground. Is normally you build it where you're from and then out from there. So if you're from Sheffield or Liverpool, you get big in your city and then the rest of the country follows. But with us, like in the UK, we have decent following in like Newcastle, and we can sell a few tickets in Sheffield or Brighton or around the country, but there's not one place where we're big. Whereas now with like going out to Europe, we're thinking, you know, there's no reason why you can't, you know, if Germany takes to it and we go back and do some headline shows, then the UK would watch that, and they might sleep on a band for years, like us, where our name's been about, but we've not exploded, and then Germany might be into it, and then the UK follow. You know, so
it's like the Kings of Leon story, isn't it? Kings of Leon, same, like coming to UK and taking off here before America, and then America jumping on it after.
Yeah,
it's going to be class. Can't wait. Thanks for taking the time, Dan. Anyway, we appreciate it, mate.
No, thanks for having me in. Yeah, can't wait.
We definitely get you some streams on Spotify because we've got. I know we've probably got about 3 or 4 of your tunes on our Spotify playlist at Jolly Brewer, so you're getting played. Literally every time I go in, a tune comes on.
Yeah.
So
nice one. Yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you for watching, everybody. That's episode 20. Thank you, Dan, for jumping on. If you've not heard of Cusp, if you've not heard of Cusp, 99% of bands these days have got the word "the" before. The.
I'm saying in Europe, you're going to be going big thank you to the Cusp.
Well, last one it was dorks, weren't it? Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Check out Cusp, the touring with us around Europe and Glasgow in the UK. It's going to be class. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see you all next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Take care. Come on, Frody, do the last bit.
Like, share, subscribe, get your comments in.
Nice one, everybody. Nice one, Dan.
Nice one, Dan.